Hi, I'm Spook. Today Mojang just released 1.17, aka the first part of the Caves and Cliffs update, and I'm about to show you what it does in 5 minutes. Wish me luck. There are plenty of new blocks, mobs, and advancements in this new version, but let's start out with the mobs. 3 new mobs were added to the game, and the first of these is the goat. After the mountain biome won the Minecon Live 2019 vote, goats were added to the game. These little buddies can be milked like cows, make funny noises, look adorable, and sometimes can spawn as a screaming goat. A goat that, well, screams. Goats can also ram you if you stand still for too long, and the screaming goat rams you more often than normal. You also get an advancement for riding in a boat with one. The second mob is the Axolotl. Axolotls are amphibious mobs that mostly live in the water and come in 4 different colors: pink, gold, cyan, and the blue, which is the rarest. You can scoop axolotls up in a bucket to carry them around with you, which also nabs you an advancement, and buckets of tropical fish can be used to get these little critters to follow you around and breed with each other. Be warned that axolotls attack anything that moves in water, so putting them with other animals in an aquarium might not be the best idea you've ever had. Finally, glow squids have been added. After winning the mob vote in 2020, glow squids are the magnificent sparkling creatures that drop glow ink sacs when killed. You can use these ink sacs to make glow item frames, which makes the item glow in the dark, or on signs to make the text glow in the dark. It even works with different colors and gives you an advancement for doing so. Moving on to the blocks now, copper has been added to the game. You can either make cut copper or regular copper blocks, and this orangey metal block will slowly turn green and oxidize over time in your Minecraft world, making it great for statues and builds you like to show off the age of your world. You can also keep copper you like the color of at a certain stage of aging by using honeycomb on it and waxing it. If you'd like to let it age normally again, just use an axe and right click it to scrape it off. You also get an advancement for doing both of these. Honeycomb can also be used along with string to make candles now. You can stack up to 4 in the same block like sea pickles and use dye to change the color. They emit more light depending on how many candles are in the same block, and they have their own unique sounds. Copper can also be used to make the new lightning rod, a waterloggable rod looking block that attracts lightning so your favorite wooden builds don't catch on fire in thunderstorms. There's also an advancement for lightning hitting one of these while a villager is nearby. Other than decorative blocks and lightning rods, copper can also be used to make a spyglass. There are 3 nifty new advancements for looking at a parrot, a ghast, and the ender dragon respectively through the spyglass, so it's perfect for adding to the mood of your pirate ship. The other ingredient used to make this spyglass is an amethyst shard. These purple crystals can also be used to make tinted glass that you can see through but blocks light, making this new block great for seeing what's going on inside mob farms. You can get these little prisms for mining amethyst clusters, which spawn on the walls of the new amethyst geodes, large dome-shaped structures underground that the crystals slowly grow on over time. These massive geodes are encased in a layer of calcite, a new white decorative block that looks like quartz and diorite had a baby, followed by an additional layer of smooth basalt, a block that probably should have been added in 1.16, but is still nice to have nonetheless. Going back to copper though, since we're on the underground topic now, you're probably wondering where to get your hands on some. For the first time since ruby ore was changed to emerald ore back on May 25th of 2012, a new ore has finally been added to the overworld: copper ore. When mined, copper ore drops raw copper, which is then smelted in a furnace to obtain a copper ingot, which is used to craft all the copper items mentioned earlier. Funnily enough though, iron and gold have undergone changes as well. Now, when you mine the blocks, you get raw iron and raw gold. Granted, you still have to smelt them, but this means that the fortune enchantment now works on iron and gold, which is one of my personal favorite changes in this version. The second of which being the new ore textures. You heard me. Every single overworld ore block has had a texture update. This is primarily for accessibility purposes and to make the ores easier to tell apart, especially for those who are colorblind. Another way to make things easier to see is to use the all-new light block, a new block with variable light levels that you can see through, walk through, and is even waterloggable. It's insane for creative mode builders and map makers who now no longer have to worry about properly lighting up their builds with blocks and items that may not fit their build style. Cauldrons have had some changes too. You can now put lava in a cauldron, and you can now also put powder snow in a cauldron as well as a bucket. Powder snow is also part of the Minecon 2019 biome vote along with the ghosts from earlier, and is basically snow you can both sink into and take freezing damage from if you're inside it for too long. This works on mobs too, and the only way to not sink in it is by walking on it while wearing leather boots, which coincidentally also gives you an advancement. Spawning near the bottom of the world is a new type of stone called deep slate. This block is a lot like stone in the sense that mining it gives you a cobbled variant, and can be polished, turned into bricks, or turned into tiles, and all 3 of these subsets can then be turned into stairs or slabs. There's even a chiseled deep slate block, so there's now all sorts of gray stone variants for building your evil lair out of something other than blackstone for once. Currently not spawning in the world yet, but found in shipwreck chests is now the new moss blocks, moss carpets, glow berries, and cave vine. Place moss blocks down amongst some stone and use bone meal, which also has sounds now. And the moss spreads, giving you lush cave biome blocks like azalea bushes, flowering azalea bushes, spore blossoms, drip leaves, etc. While an underground biome with these kinds of blocks everywhere isn't in the game yet, it will be in 1.18, the second part of the Caves and Cliffs update, coming this holiday season. Other things you can find in the underground though are glow lichen and dripstone blocks. Glow lichen is a decorative block used to give the underground mood lighting, and don't have much use other than looking pretty. You can pick them up using shears, and they can also be waterlogged. Dripstone blocks then, on the other hand, are a sneak peek at what will eventually be the new dripstone caves biome in 1.18, and are blocks rocks that, when there's water above it, will slowly grow stalactites and stalagmites that obey gravity and can impale mobs and players if you're not careful. Up on the surface, not much has changed other than the new azalea trees that will sometimes spawn with azalea leaves and oakwood with the new rooted dirt block underneath. This tree will eventually mark where a lush cave biome is in 1.18, but for now it's just decorative. And finally, MC610 got fixed. Be sure to leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.